Hello, everybody who might be watching. Today is November 2nd, Sunday, and it is another episode of Books Galore and CreatorCore. And today I just want to welcome one of our authors that we have had here frequently. He is a good friend of the page and also has newly published one of his works. If he would like to introduce himself.
I am William Stevens. I'm from Carlisle, Pennsylvania. I did 20 years in the Army, 16 years with the sitting government. I'm a 5-time award-winning author, The Mirror, The Broken Mirror, and No Filter. I guess that's all I'm going to say.
There you go.
William Stevens.
Okay. All right. So you recently had a book that basically premiered on Halloween, right?
Yeah, No Filter, from skateboard kid to entrepreneur.
Right. So why don't you I don't know if you have a copy of the book to show us and maybe you could tell us a little bit about it. No?
I do not have a copy of it.
Okay. But I do know that it has been it's actually still featured on the page as we speak. It's on the top banner. So please, everybody, make sure that you go out and get that. And I'll make sure that we have the links to Amazon posted as well. So why don't you tell us just about the process and just sort of like what your hopes are and anything that you would like to tell your readers?
No Filter is my third and last and final book. So also on Halloween, I retired as an author.
Oh.
Done. The reason why is the marketing and all the people scamming. It's just a lot of, and I mean, I don't have any more writing in me. Like I do like maybe audio monologues, but I think I have like a higher calling. A higher calling is I'm still going to focus my stuff online and stuff, but I'm not going to like blow people's pages up and send out advertisements because it's really not worth it. It's not, because I mean, like, I see all these people that post all these books on Amazon, right? They're like, hey, I just became a new author. Well, guess what? Don't go down the rabbit hole, because if your book is just going to sit on Amazon, that's where it's going to sit, on Amazon. So unless you got a huge following, so my higher calling is I have been networking with some very, very high people in the military that are retired. So these retired people, I could never get to them when I was active because they had too many people. Now they're retired and they're out there trying to help people. So I'm linking up with a few of them, but I have a video trailer where it's a minute long. I want to present it to the United States Army because I'm Army. And what I want to do is I wanted to get it, The Broken Mirror and No Filter into the Army publication system. So if I'm selling my book for $15, if the Army will buy it for $1 or $2 mass and get it out to people that are leaving the military, because like The Broken Mirror, it also talks about military transition and resume writing, because resume writing is a lot different when you go from military to civilian. Because when you go to the civilian side, they don't care you were a very high ranking person. They don't care about your awards. They don't care about you were in combat. They want to know how you take that lingo from the military and change it over. So I think if I can get that book into the hands of the Army right now, because after COVID, everything is done online when they leave the military. So It's kind of like, here's your DD Form 214, here's your award. Don't let the door hit you in the butt on the way out. So.
Okay. So then you're really going to be moving into Army publications.
Yeah. So I'm going to try to push my book into Army publication because my book is already approved by the Pentagon. So that's one step they do when they do put it into publications, to see if the Pentagon's going to approve it. So my book has already been approved. So The Mirror and The Broken Mirror have been approved by the Pentagon, but the No Filter has not. And my main goal is to push The Broken Mirror first. And if I can get The Broken Mirror into the system, I believe that I could, I'm not saying me in general, but I believe if my books are in the right hands, You ever heard the 22 a day veterans commit suicide? It's called
I've heard
22 a
something
day.
similar.
I think I could lower that stigma because a lot of people think that you're going to get out of military and the grass is greener on the other side. Well, I'm sorry to tell you, it's not. Some people, it's just handed to you. Most of the people like me, when you get out, you're not a leader no more. You start back down as a follower
At the bottom. Yeah.
at the bottom. So, and you can't go to the next job and be like, I'm a platoon sergeant, I'm a first sergeant, I'm in charge. Not, guess what? You ain't got a job. So,
Right.
but yeah, if I can get that book into the system, it should be all right. I think I'll do better. But just also, the mirror, the broken mirror, and no filter are now probably as of this Wednesday, will all be on audio as well.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah,
So you were able to get somebody to basically narrate your books?
the same narrator.
The same narrator. Okay.
Mhm. So
So
I
is it
started
gonna
this all the way back last year before I knew you in November.
Okay.
So June this year, the Broken Mirror was released on audio, and then just 2 weeks ago, The Mirror, my first book, the Black Edition, came out on audio. And then just yesterday, it was all approved. I listened to all the tracks, and it's going to take like 1 or 2 days to get into the system. So, but yeah, all three are there. So hopefully something happens. You know, I've listened to them. When I listened to No Filter, I was speechless. I was like, wow, I can't believe I wrote that. So.
I'm pretty sure that, I mean, if they buy your books, they're definitely going to do their best to sort of market it, especially, among the, military personnel, things like that, right?
Yeah, and that's why earlier I sent you the video, the new marketing that I did. It's not like anything that I've ever done. It starts out like in a tent city in combat, and then it talks about, I did the narration, so my friend Johanna helped me put it together. So the video explains like you're being handed your DD4 and 214. So it shows a copy of the DD4 and 214. It shows you a little award, and then it shows somebody sitting down trying to type a resume on a computer, and the broken mirror is sitting beside them.
Got it.
And then it goes into like talking about the transition, and it shows a guy, like a military person, handing the book over to a civilian. Like, you're now transitioning from the military, and it just ends like in a dark room, and then transparently the book will appear at the end. So pretty cool.
Okay.
1 minute. I didn't want to like tell the Army that I was trying to tell like a whole, how I am 10-minute story and stuff.
So, in terms of like Army publications, how long do you think the process takes to get it circulating through the system?
I have no idea.
Okay. So, because this is the first time that you've done this?
So I don't think I wrote a book for the Army. I helped write a book for the Army when my 5th combat tour. So
yeah, I remember you told me
but
that.
That was a lot different because we went to as active. We went to Fort Leavenworth and gave all our data, and the analysts and the authors, and I mean the analysts and the people who put those books together and stuff. They developed that book, but now the book is already developed, and I don't want people to change it because like it's my story on trying to help these people. So I'm trying to talk to, I want to say, certain sergeant majors of the Army that are retired. So they know all branches. They work with all branches. So I really want to try to see if it actually happened in the Army. And then if it happens in the Army, then word's going to get out, and hopefully it'll be a military type thing. And me being on veteran podcasts and interviewing people. Now, my podcast starts up next week, Crawl, Walk, Run.
Yeah.
My mental health platform. I have already downloaded the StreamYard. I got like 10 guests lined up. So, and a lot of them are military, because I believe everyone has trauma. So Hopefully
Yeah.
the book will get in the system. If not, I'm probably going to kill myself doing it. So that's going to be the last thing I do, because I just want to be an author advocate and help people get established. And I also want to be like a PTSD, a mental health advocate for veterans, because
Right.
I do know the broken mirror will save a couple of people's lives. It happened right in front of me when I was in Florida. So
What
I don't
happened
know if
right
you
in front of you?
ever sat down with someone that was suicidal.
Oh, yes, I actually worked in several different counseling and psychiatric clinics.
Yeah. So I had a gentleman in Florida who was, I guess, a master at arms, um, when I was staying at the campground before I left. And he was suicidal because his son was on his way down from north down to south, and the kid was going to join the Navy. The guy was in the Navy. His son was coming down, was in a head-on collision, and died.
Oh
So
my
this guy
goodness.
thought he didn't have anything else left. The lady that was working there said, "Hey, maybe you might want to sit down with this guy because he looks suicidal." I'm like, "We didn't try to sit down with him or anything." So, and you got to understand, because you're not better than them. You got to bring yourself down to a level where you both can understand each other. And I had the book in my hand, and I was talking to him, and I was telling him some stuff that I was going through, and making sure that he was all right. I asked him, "You want me to come stay with you?" I had no mission or anything. And I gave him the book. I signed the book in front of him, and I said, "Look, if something in this book can help you, man, I know the worst thing is to have lose a child as a parent, you know."
Yeah,
And
I can't
I
even
said,
imagine.
"Yeah," I said, "I couldn't even imagine. I have an 18-year-old. I couldn't even imagine if I lost her." But I said, "You got to understand, man. If you're the only one left, you carry on your legacy." So I said, don't try to do anything out of the ordinary." So I gave him the book, and I went to go check on him the next day, but he was gone. They said he had been rushed to the hospital because he had he was like throwing up, he was bringing up blood. I don't know. There's something going on internally. And he was gone for about 3 days. And I was walking the dog, and I knocked on the door, and he answered, and he goes, "Hey, man, I just want to tell you," he goes, "I was going to go back to my RV and unalive myself, but your book," he goes, "I read your book in the hospital, and your book saved my life." And I'm thinking to myself, wow, that's better than any Amazon review, or, not
It
going to
is.
publicly have the guy come on and be like, "I want you to tell everyone that I saved your life." But him telling me that, just made me feel that maybe I helped that one person,
Right,
because
right.
when you write a book, you're not writing to the world. You're writing to one person, and then that person is going to talk about your book, and then the next person is going to talk about your book. Because I
Right.
wrote about that in No Filter, about like helping authors get established instead of thinking, "I'm going to sell a book on Amazon and it's going to blow up overnight."
Right.
I
Right.
don't think so. So
I mean, the truth of the matter is that you're right. Like when you are writing something, depending on the type of book that you're writing, right? So like if you're writing an autobiography, what is the purpose of writing the book? It's hopefully to affect change in someone else's life by your own experiences, right? And if you're writing like fiction or science fiction, fantasy, the purpose is to, provide some form of entertainment that might lighten somebody else's life, right? And so, the fact that you were able to even touch one person, I think is of such great magnitude because life is priceless, you know. Um, and you don't know who else out there you might have saved. You just don't know. You don't know who downloaded your book and it changed their life just reading your book. You just never know.
and with those free downloads, I just realized, I'm like, man, no one downloaded my book. I'm like, I pushed out that message to everybody, and I'm like, no one downloaded No Filter.
Wait,
But
so when
then
you do the free downloads, do you do like the
you
the
you can't.
Amazon?
So I'm Amazon Select,
Okay.
but
Because
when you
they
do
used to
that,
have, I don't know, Amazon.
you can only see pages read.
Okay.
You cannot see who downloaded your free book.
Okay.
It won't
Okay,
tell you.
okay, so just because you didn't see pages read does not mean that they didn't download your book. I have downloaded hundreds of books and not yet read them. Like I've
Yeah.
downloaded a lot of books.
But what's weird is when they download them and it's sitting on your Kindle, it's weird that that whole thing is all connected because like if I download your book, right? Like you were saying, if I download your book and I looked at one page, that will go to you for 1 credit a page was read. But if I take an airplane trip and then read your whole book, a month later, you'll get that a month later saying more people read your book. And it's almost like if 100 people downloaded your book on a free download day and they start reading, those pages will start accumulating.
Right.
Now I do know, and I really didn't care about it because like Halloween, I wasn't sitting around being like, wow, wait for them to download. I went to like Hershey Park and went to the haunted horror night and then had a good time. And, and then I came home and my friend's like, how'd your promotion go? And I'm like, I don't know. So I went and looked at, I don't even know how to look at the schematics. I looked at the marketing thing or the report and it said like, I was blown away because like the 19th, 5 people downloaded on Kindle because it's only on Kindle. The Broken Mirror, and then 4 people downloaded on the 28th. No filter.
Okay.
And the Broken Mirror has 284 pages read.
There you go. So,
Yeah. So
I honestly, because I've been on Amazon since 2000, I would say 2011, 2012. I've been on there a very long time, and their methods have changed, and the way that they push out authors has changed. And so I have not really been paying much attention to how they push out books recently. But in the past, what I used to do is I still have the website, but I had a website. I would basically do exactly what I'm doing now, except I would do like, interviews on my page. I would post them all over Facebook, have the authors post them all over Facebook, and then collaborate those authors to do like events for like book giveaways. And we would collaborate together and sort of get like a group of authors going and sort of, through doing that, we would all get a bunch of downloads. So that's what I used to do back in the day. But I no longer do that because it's extremely time consuming. And unless you're getting like, unless people are paying entries for that service, it's a lot of work for free. So it is a lot of work. I can understand why you're like, I don't want to do that anymore. I get it.
well, I'm starting to get a big following on X.
Okay, on
I
Twitter.
went on
Yes,
X and
yeah.
I've only now this is not a lot, but for only being on X a month, I have 1.5K followers already. And I started William Stevens in 2017 and just broke 1,000 followers. So my buddy told
Right.
me, come on over to X and see what you can do. And I tried, and I'm going to try to come to TikTok now. My daughter stole my TikTok account, so I have to like reset the whole thing up. So
I've been telling you to get on TikTok.
but it's hard because when I go to punch in my information, my email, it says it's been taken.
Email has been taken.
Email and birth date and all of that because my kid did it when she was 13.
Oh, you can't reset it? The
No,
password?
I have to set up a whole new email address and a whole new like I do a birthday, but yeah, I had a long conversation with my kid. So
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
when they do that, my child has taken and used my email for Roblox among other things, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah, so you're probably going to have to make a new account, but you can make a new account as an author and push a book out there. There's an entire community on TikTok. It's called Book Talk or Authors of TikTok, and they basically post about books, talk about the writing process on TikTok. And there's a large community of veterans on TikTok. So, I mean, I think that you would do really well on there. I think you
Well,
would do really well on
I
there.
hope I'm just I'm not saying I'm burned out. doing all the marketing stuff, but like it's almost like every other day I get like 100 people saying, I can sell your books. I can do this. And then they keep going down the rabbit hole. And I'm like, guess what? You just learned. And one of my friends, I'll be like, hey, do you know anything about this person? He's like, yep, they're from Nigeria. So then they ended up on our blacklist. So
Yeah, so yeah, again, like the way that I used to do it back in 2012, 2013 would be to create a network of authors. We would all work together to have an event to push it out on Facebook as widely as possible, and we would all get downloads. We would all get downloads. I used to get sales, but it was a lot of work. It was an extreme amount of work. And then Amazon has also raised their prices, and so you have to think like, the amount of work that you put into it versus the commission that you get back from your own book. Like,
I
is it?
found out that Amazon takes 60% for an audiobook.
Yeah,
60% from an audiobook.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
I don't
I
know.
mean, it's, honestly, like the Booksby that you basically told us about, I feel like that's a better option if you're going to be advertising and then going on like, repurposing all of your content, your podcast content, repurpose it to TikTok, repurpose it to YouTube. Build up a following on those platforms and you'll get monetized, especially on YouTube. Your long form content will get monetized. TikTok is more for very short content. So like 7-second stuff, 15 seconds, like, basically saying this is what went down in 7 seconds. That's what TikTok is. YouTube is more, you can talk longer, podcast stuff.
I
So
noticed my 15-second shorts on YouTube are getting over 1,000 views.
there, yeah, yep.
Yeah. So food stuff I do, just little food stuff.
Keep
Gets
doing
like
that.
2,000 views.
People love food.
Yeah, but they won't
People
follow.
love food.
They'll view, but they won't follow me. I've had 78 followers for the longest.
But have you told them to follow you? Like when you do the
I
videos, do you say like, follow, and share, or like and follow and subscribe?
No, I just do. Hey, this is Cooking with Steve-O, and I'm cooking some steak today, and blah blah blah. And 2 minutes later, there's 1,000 views. I'm like, what? And I ain't even got that many people following me.
Yeah. So next time you do that, be like, like and subscribe. Join my channel if you want more. And they'll do
Okay.
it. They just, people, when they're scrolling, they're not thinking. They're in entertainment mode. So you got to make them remember, oh, I should follow this person. Yeah.
I'll
Especially if
do
you're
that.
getting 1,000 views, you could once you get a certain amount of subscribers, you start making money off your content.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I
On
didn't know that.
YouTube. As soon as you get a certain amount of subscribers, you make money off your content.
Yeah, I was listening to like a chat room on X one night, and this woman was saying, like, just for instance, I guess Steve Jobs' daughter. I don't know what she looks like. I don't know if she's attractive or not, but somebody posted her picture. It went viral, and this guy from YouTube posted it and got over 1 million views and made so much money off of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah. So you can, so if you want to get monetized, these are the two apps I really suggest you go into. Is for you, especially YouTube, because you're already getting visual traction there. And then if you can work out TikTok, and when you go on TikTok, just go live. Start talking to people. Try to talk to, people in the military community, whether they're vets or otherwise, and you'll gain a following. You'll gain a following.
okay.
And make sure that you have some type of goal at the top of the screen, and people will gift you. They'll gift you. You'll get paid just for talking. I
Oh wow.
guarantee it. Yeah,
Wow. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so a bunch of press releases came out from Bookside Press. They're really nice. They let me, I reviewed everything. And then also, I was featured in a ladies magazine called Power.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So
Okay.
actually, I'll show it to you real quick.
Okay, cool.
They just sent it to me. So my book, No Filter, will be featured in their Christmas magazine. This is Power Magazine.
Okay.
This is Professional Organization of Women of Excellence Recognized.
There you
So when I went
go.
to International Impact Book Award, a woman named Debbie referred me to them, and they did an article. So the fall article every year features 4 men who inspire women.
Oh,
So, yeah, 4. Some of them are CEOs, and then wow,
look at that. There you go.
yeah. So like that guy there, he's a CEO in a suit. All the other guys are in suits, and I look like a skateboard kid. So, but
That's
yeah,
a good picture of you.
They actually really like my article. It says men who empower women. So, and it says author, advocate, founder of 1821 Production, voice of the voiceless. So pretty cool.
There
And I
you
got
go.
one for my kid so that she knows that I'm empowering women. So
There you go. You gotta let the kids know.
my friend said, "Hey, you might be featured in this magazine, but it's going to end up like in a salon somewhere."
Oh yeah, I mean honestly, because magazines like that, like women, we go to salons, we go to like spas, things like that. So it'll probably also land in spas, maybe nail shops. Hmm.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's good traction because women will pick up that stuff and actually read it because they're just sitting there for like
yeah.
hours. So
You know,
you're gonna get some audiences.
I'm trying every direction, but just so you know, I was on my biggest podcast 2 months ago, but they released it. They weren't going to release it, and then I asked them, I'm like, we did the interview on No Filter, so like, it'd be crazy if you guys released it saying that the book is going to come out on Halloween, and a month later you release it and it's already out. So
Hmm.
they just stopped everything because all their interviews are done in their studio live, like face to face. And because I was out on the road, they did me and did a special thing, but it wasn't live, but it just dropped. So there's an organization called Grunt Style. They make like t-shirts and apparel for first responders and military. They got like a cross rifle over here, an American flag. I've worn
Right,
some of the stuff in my videos, but they have like the Palm Tree Club, like where you pay $22 a month and they send you exclusive shirts that they don't sell on their website. So instead of 2 rifles, it's 2 palm trees that says Grunt Style Foundation. So
right,
the
right,
foundation, they raise money or all their apparel, like they use that money for overprescribed veterans. Like when they overdose,
right.
they fight for that because that's a huge thing in pharma, like big farm that the VA is not telling people about. So I was on their national podcast that has millions of viewers around the world. So I just want to say I made it to the big top. I'm not like Joe Rogan or anything, but I made it to the veteran podcast. So
There
um,
you go.
it was very interesting. And when they dropped it, I was like shocked.
There
So
you go. So yeah, honestly, I think that the path that you're taking is probably going to work for you, especially with the Army publication. I really, really encourage you to, put all of your content on YouTube that has been, what you notice has been giving you traction. Just continue that and make sure that you encourage people to like and subscribe to your channel because as soon as you get people who have, followed you enough, your content will start to monetize. You're going to start to notice that you're getting monetized. It might be only a few cents here and there, but it builds up as long as you keep going over time, and people become millionaires on YouTube.
yeah, one of my buddies told me he's got him and his wife. So his wife gets paid for it, but he's always at work. But they both had 10,000 viewers,
Hmm.
and they're trying to push me and push my content on their page. But he's like, just keep hitting Elon up, man. If Elon tweets your stuff or sends your stuff out, man, people are going to see it and they're going to follow you in a heartbeat. He goes, he said Elon mentioned some girl that had like 100 followers and she blew up overnight. And I'm like, well, I don't really want to use Elon, just to boost my content. But I said, I'll bug him a couple times, but he'll probably block me. And I said, I got a couple people that hate on me. So that's one reason why I'm going to stop like advertising so much. But it takes up a lot of time too. Like I'm up at like 2 and 3 and 4 in the morning doing stuff. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, no, I know that nightly graveyard hour shift. I do that on TikTok. Yep. And it can be tough. It can be tough. Some
do you
like
do your
honest
class? You do your classes live, right?
I do my classes live from 3 a.m. Central Standard Time to like 7 or 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. So I do like the graveyard shift.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. So by the time I get off, I'm beat. I'm knocked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you should definitely.
It's always a privilege.
So since you're on TikTok at I mean, if you're up at night at those times, you could try and get on TikTok and just start talking to people about your experience. Try to see if you can reach out to other Army veterans, see if you can build a community, and you will definitely, especially at those nighttime hours, you'll grow fast, and you can actually make an income off of it. So,
Yeah, I also notice on X, like if I call myself William, no one cares. But if I call myself Steve-O, like I changed my sign on X to Steve-O. Like when I go into one of those rooms, people are like, let's hear from Steve-O, and I'm like, there's a whole bunch of people in here. Why don't we hear from the other people first? And they're like, we
yeah.
want to know what Steve-O's thinking of. It says, who's Steve-O? So yeah, I go in the rooms, I sit and listen to these people. Some people are toxic, and I'll leave and then I'll come back. But I don't know. X is just very political, very, very political.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
but it's also difficult to get monetized on X. And if you want to go on like if you're gonna be on social media, then I mean, for me, I don't go on social media just to scroll. I go there to build something. I go there to either build a platform or to build a business or to network. Like I go there with a purpose. And if you want to make money, you don't want to be in areas where people are just bickering and wasting their time.
yeah, I don't. I'm not a scroller. I like to scroll real slow and look at stuff and actually read or take a peek at what's going on. Maybe I'm not a 3 second guy. I might be like 15 or 20 second. You know, but yeah. So
Well, if you ever decide to make an account on TikTok, let me know. I'll push you out.
okay,
Yeah, I'll
yeah, no
push you out.
problem. So.
So, do you have anything else? We've had several people coming in and out of the stream, both on Facebook and on YouTube. So, do you have any other things that you would like to say to any viewers?
No, it's the same thing all the time. I mean, I always say mental health is a life sentence without parole, but with coping mechanisms, you can't ever forget the demons, but you can always push them a little way. But
Right.
like I said, cooling blankets, ice beanies, cooling pillows. So I will say I have tried CBD gummies. They ain't do nothing for me. Nothing. So then one of my friends is like, hey, why don't you try the THC gummies? And I was like, well, we'll see how that goes. So I bought 20 of them. And the guy was like, I would highly recommend you just take, it's a little square gummy. You might want to cut it in half. I said, okay. Why is that? He goes, they're very powerful. And I'm like, okay. So what I did, I woke up around 8 o'clock. I wasn't feeling well, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to lay here and relax. And I took a whole gummy. And let me tell you what,
Oh no.
I don't see how these people that take edibles. I would rather take a pill, like a fluoxetine pill or something like that. Knowing maybe in the long run it's going to hurt my body, but I've been on fluoxetine for years. But when I took that one THC gummy, I'm like, there's no way that people sit around and feel like this because the dog wanted to go for a walk and I'm touching the wall. I'm like, ain't no way, man. It's not me. That's not me. And I'm like,
Dr.
could you
Wolf.
imagine some of these people take like 2 or 3 of these things, you know? So
You know,
I might have to cut it down to like a half or something. And I'm not doing it I'm just doing it to relax, as a coping mechanism because one of the guys wanted me to be on a podcast. I meet all the criteria, but I don't do edibles. And because I talk sometimes on my podcast about municipal marijuana, which I'll never do in my entire life.
Right.
But THC is in marijuana, but I'm not going to do that because I don't like the smell of it and I don't want it in my system. So they won't have me on there.
I mean, to be honest, I feel like there are other methods that probably work better in terms of, not destroying your ability to process what's going around on around you. I myself am allergic to all of that. I have an extremely bad paranoia reaction. So when people say take, I'm like, I'm good. No, thank you. No, I'm good. So yeah, I mean, when you are dealing with mental health, sometimes it's you look for what is going to fix it, what's going to make it work. And honestly, the best choice, the best advice is to just go to, either a mental health practitioner or a doctor or a psychiatrist because they're going to know what's best.
Well, I've been with my psychiatrist since 2008.
There you go.
The same guy. And he's the one that kind of influenced me to write The Broken Mirror.
Okay.
About my kid, the broken bond between me and my kid. And now that I drop No Filter, I'm like, who bought 5 books? And he bought 5 books and wants me to come to the VA hospital in December to sign them.
Aww.
So that he can give them out for gifts. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I haven't seen him like in a year because I've been on the road. We just talk on the phone. He's like, man, I read your manuscript because I sent it to him. I'm like, I talk about how like in the VA system, like you have the primary healthcare manager. Some of these veterans don't even know who their primary healthcare manager is because it's like a juggling system.
It is.
Even with the VA psychiatric side. And my doctor was, my psychiatrist is like, you're probably one of my longest patients I've ever had.
Yeah. I mean, because just dealing with that, I mean, that's a whole nother, can of worms topic because my father was a vet and trying to get him care because he actually ended up developing cancer and trying to get medical care for him through the system. It was such a pain. And so it's another can of worms.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
but
yeah.
I'll tell you, as long as Big Farm's around, I don't think municipal marijuana is going to be approved in the VA system.
I mean, I don't really have, again, I have a paranoid reaction to it. So I don't really have, I'm probably not the best person to speak on what I think about it because I'm not a proponent of it. So, I mean, they're going to figure it out some way, shape, or form. People are going to, medicate to make themselves feel better in ways that, the government just has to get over because now people are actually voting for these kind of, medicinal, substances, right?
Yeah, but
All over
we always
America.
have people that are going to violate the system, like, don't get me started what's going on right now, but you know what I'm talking about. Everything should be vetted. Everything should be vetted. If you have tried so many types of remedies or pills and stuff, then you're vetted into the system and then you can start doing edibles or maybe start doing, gummies and then eventually work your way into, man, I talked to one guy and he's like, they have municipal for stress. They have municipal for bipolar. They have municipal marijuana for depression. I'm like, and I kind of laugh it off and I go and watch South Park with Integrity Farms where Randy Marsh is like, you've ever seen that?
Is South Park still playing? I used to watch that when I was a kid.
Please do not get me started on what South Park is doing.
We won't get on South Park. We won't do South Park here.
They just dropped episode 28, season 28 on Halloween.
Season 28.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Them and The Simpsons have the 2 longest, and then Family Guy. Yeah. So The Simpsons are up to season 35 Halloween specials.
Yeah, that's crazy.
35 years.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
That's
And you know
crazy.
what's going on in the world right now. And the guys from South Park, they always push that agenda.
Yeah.
So
Well,
you have to, if you get a chance, I'll just go on YouTube and look at what they did on Halloween. I can't believe they're not canceled by our administration. So I'm just gonna say that. But
wow,
yeah,
there you go. So, I just want to thank you so much again. I just want to, let everybody out there who is watching, and coming in and out through the stream, both on YouTube, Instagram, and on Facebook. Please make sure that you check out his book, No Filter. It came out recently on Halloween. It is featured on the page on the top banner, and there will be links on the page leading to Amazon where it is published. This is the author. And do you have any final words?
I'm on Barnes and Nobles now.
Oh, there you go.
I'm on global distribution through Ingram Sparks.
There you go.
They're a major distribution company, and looks like around where I live, within a 100-mile radius, I'm going to be looking pretty good in Target. So for the
There you go.
holidays, the
There you
Broken
go.
Mirror and No Filter will be in Target stores. So
There you go.
if you're in Pennsylvania, come to a Target near you. So
There you go. All right. So I just want to thank you again, and I will be seeing you soon. Let me see you again soon. So thank you again for joining us. This has been another episode of Books Galore and CreatorCore. We will be back next week, and see you all again soon.